High school sports, we've got it covered. Overtime starts now.
Hello and welcome to Overtime, the State Line's favorite location for all things high school basketball. I'm Regan Holgate.
And I'm Scott Leber. Once again, we're serving up another half hour of nothing but hoops. And tonight we're going to spotlight a gentleman who's devoted more than half a century to athletics at Dakota High School.
I'll interview Lutheran boys coach Tom Goosey. His guys just wrapped up another Big Northern Conference championship. We'll also give you a look at the final Big Northern and Nick 10 conference standings.
We're going to start with girls action because there were regional championships to be won tonight. One of those was up for grabs at Byron.
No one was surprised when Winnebago and Byron reached this Class 2A championship game. They've combined to win 49 games this season. Byron edged Winnebago by 3 points in their one regular season meeting in early December. The Lady Tigers getting things started early. Dump goes inside to Ava Colchin, and she goes for the glass. Now it's Bago's turn, and Ella Provy answers from deep. And well, why not the same from Britton Belskis? Top of the arc, and she drains the Tiger three. This was a fun one, folks. Around the world passing now from Bago to get it to Campbell Schrank in the corner, and she knocks down the three-pointer. It's Colchin again here, this time with a takeaway and a quick lay-in to finish off the drive. Byron led by 6 at the half, but Schrank will get things started for Bago in the second with some shiftiness here in the paint. Nice move there. Here she comes again from the corner and swish. Bago holding strong, but never count out Ella Grunstrom. Watch her move into the paint and fight for that one. And here's where the Tiger tear starts. Macy Groharing knocks down the floater. Then it's Grunstrom again, getting physical, making her way through every defender to take it to the house. I mean, she will always find a way, and here she goes again. This one was far over by this point, but why not another hoop for Carson Bielskis? Winnebago has had Byron's number in the postseason for the last 4 years, but tonight they didn't answer the call. Byron wins 78-59, and the Lady Tigers are regional champions.
We call it a revenge tour, and now we're here. So we really put in a lot of work from the first time we played them because we only beat them by 3. So this time it shows how much work we put in. Couldn't be more proud than our girls.
Us seniors, we've been through it. We've seen Bago beat us, and we didn't want that to happen again to us. We wanted to finish off this game. This was our time. It's our senior year to finish them off, and that's what we ended up doing.
You know, I always say that seniors win in postseason, and you saw a couple seniors got out a gutsy effort here in the second half, and that was the difference in the game.
All right, well, the Boylan Lady Titans went after a Class 3A regional championship in Burlington against the hosts from Central High School. And the big story of this game, Lily Esparza spent a whole lot of time on the bench in foul trouble. She eventually fouled out. So the Lady Titans were trying to play comeback without her in the fourth quarter. Kaylee Harder will can a 3. Boylan trailed 30-25. Moments later, Elena Petalber sank a couple free throws. The Lady Titans were hanging right in there, down by 3. But then Paige Erickson went to work for the Rockets through the paint and off the glass. Harder, though, clutch again with another deep three-pointer. But Erickson answers for Central with a big-time drive. The hoop and one. She led all scorers with 18 points, and that was too much for the Lady Titans to overcome. Time ran out on their season. The Central High Rockets are regional champions. They won by 10, 42-32. Another Nick 10 girls team went after a regional championship tonight in Huntley.
Taylor Castro had that game covered. We've got her here with us now. Hi, Taylor.
Hi, guys. The Guilford Lady Vikings had a great regular season, but they wanted more. They wanted a regional championship. But to get it, they had to get past a Huntley Red Raiders team that won 28 games during the regular season. Huntley's also the #1 seed in the Hampshire sectional. Red Raiders got off to a hot start with a 13-9 lead after the first quarter. Then the Lady Vikings shots started to fall in the second. Avery Green in the corner. She had herself a night. Green again. This time she's in the paint for 2. That gave Guilford the 17-16 lead. This was a defensive game. Lindsay Nutt grabs the steal and finds Green again. She takes it to the basket, and there's 2 more for her. Guilford up 7 now, and coach liked how the team was playing. Nutt grabs the rebound and fires one off. It's good. Jaleese Williams finds Green, and that shot will fall. The Lady Vikings never looked back after taking the lead in the second, but they needed to stop a fourth quarter comeback. Huntley misses a free throw and nearly gets the rebound, but Janelle Coleman is there to snag it away. 18 seconds left. Guilford up 4. Huntley's 3 is good. 10 seconds left. Guilford up 1 with Huntley at the line. The free throw is no good, and the Red Raiders nearly get the rebound before Coleman and Green secure it. Green makes her free throws to secure the win for the Lady Vikings. The Guilford girls are regional champs for the first time since 1996. Congratulations, ladies. Well done. They're taking home the regional plaque. Guilford beat Huntley 43-40. So the number 1 seed in the Hampshire sectional is out. Guilford advances to Hampshire. Reagan and Scott.
All right, thanks, Taylor. Wow, what a win for Guilford. Now, I know 2 more Nick 10 teams that were hoping to advance to the Hampshire sectional.
That was Hononegah and Harlem. They met for the regional championship in Class 4A at East High School. First quarter, it's Hononegah's ball. Bree Carter just going to let it fly, and she drains it for the first 3 points of the game. Harlem trying to respond. Taylor Paulson from downtown matches it. Oh, yeah. It's Grace Viviorni now. She goes inside to Brooklyn Bryan, who will get it to fall from the paint. But the Indians trying to respond here. Jordan Johnston finds Allison Nedfelt from the top of the arc, and she drains it. Quick ball movement now finds Bree Carter underneath, who will put home 2 more. Harlem down in this one. Paige Stovall tries one. It won't fall though, but they get it inside to Nikki Harrison, who fights for it. And the and one. Harlem completes the comeback and wins it 44-31. So the Nick 10 champions are out.
At the 3A Sycamore Regional, Sycamore beat Canelan 49-28. Evan Carrier had 27 points and 9 rebounds for Sycamore. At the 2A Marengo Regional, Aurora Central Catholic beat Marengo 59-36.
Stillman Valley is celebrating a regional championship. The Cardinals defeated Rock Island Alleman 42-35 to win the 2A West Carroll Regional. In Class 1A at the Pearl City Regional, Orangeville beat Morrison 64-36. For Orangeville, that's their first regional championship in 26 years.
At the 1A Pecatonica Regional, what a game. Peck edged Aquin 54-52. Elena Rager scored 26 points for Pecatonica. And at the 1A Amboy Regional, Polo beat Amboy 49-43. That's Polo's first regional championship since 2008. Sydney Ron scored 24 for Polo. Coming up in a bit, we're going to look back at the final night of Nick 10 boys basketball in a big game that played out at Auburn Wednesday night.
But up next, we talk Rockford Lutheran basketball with head coach Tom Goosey. His Crusaders just clinched another Big Northern Conference championship.
Rockford Lutheran lost 9 games during the regular season because the Crusaders play a non-conference schedule that is loaded with talented teams. And we saw that again tonight in the Crusaders' final regular season game.
They hosted the Normal University High Pioneers. Normal's enrollment is nearly twice the enrollment of Lutheran. Normal also came in with 22 wins on its record. Lutheran up at the half. David Knoll off the bounce pass gets the reverse lay-in to fall, and Normal tied it. Lutheran back with it. Bounce pass inside to King Hughes, who gets it to go. Normal took the lead at 1 point, so Lutheran needed something to fall their way. And of course, Blake Brogy drains a 3, and the momentum shifted back. Normal turnover now. Vontez Dent will turn it into points. Down the lane he goes. He fights ahead for 2. Walt Hill Jr. now off the pick, finds a lane, and he'll cash in a 2-ball jumper from the paint. Pioneer turnovers becoming a normal occurrence as Vontez Dent's gonna throw it up court to Blake Brogy, who puts away 2 more. Another normal possession, another turnover. This one finds Caden Keegan for the lay-in. Crusaders dominated the fourth quarter. They took it 69-59. That's the second time this week the Crusaders have defeated a top 10 ranked team in Class 2A.
Of course, the biggest win for Lutheran came Tuesday night when the Crusaders defeated Rockford Christian to clinch the Big Northern Conference Championship outright for the 4th straight season.
I had a chance to sit down with head coach Tom Goosey to talk all things Lutheran basketball. To start off, he even gives us a little glimpse into the mind of a coach in the hours after a big win. Take a listen.
Well, for me, like any game, just the wind down period. Like last night, I didn't get to bed until like 2:30. I was just too wound up.
I mean, I can only imagine.
Yeah, like it's too wound up, so I'm watching other game film and,
yeah,
you know, I'm just wound up. So it just takes so much longer to calm down to even think about going to bed.
Is that how it is most Fridays for you then?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like last night.
Win or loss?
Loss might be even up later. I was feeling good last night. If we'd have lost last night, I might have been up till 5.
Big Northern Conference champions for the 4th straight year, and you beat your rivals, Rockford Christian, to do it, to seal it. How did that feel? How good did that feel?
I'll tell you, it felt great, you know, to do it for 4 years. You look at Walt, Blake, and King, the 3 seniors that didn't lose a game their 4 years. And they were all pulled up at young, very young. And then to have the last game be against Rockford Christian with the atmosphere that was here, it was definitely a highlight.
You guys have had a tough non-conference schedule this season. How do you think that has prepared your guys for what they're about to experience come postseason?
I honestly feel this is the toughest schedule we've ever had. And, you know, I've had to tell the guys, you know, you got to bite your lip. You know, our record isn't the most staggering thing to look at, but just bite your lip. We know we're good. We know we're dangerous. One game at a time, but I believe that's what hopefully will pay off is the fact that we played big schools that are highly ranked and get us ready for the games that truly matter the most.
What has made this team so dangerous this season?
You know, offensively, we have a lot of weapons. You know, a lot of people start with Walt Hill, but Blake and Vontez and all the guys. I mean, they're all capable of scoring.
And Walt Hill Jr., I mean, I think the name speaks for itself at this point, but just talk to me about him and everything that he's done, you know, for this program and especially this season.
He makes a high school coach like myself, makes my job look a lot easier. When you have a point guard that you know is going to go out there and take care of the basketball, can also obviously score, get the ball to the open guy, get the ball to the shooters, get the ball to the post. But you know, in high school basketball, if you got a good point guard, you got a good chance. But when you have a great point guard, you can go real far.
And how about Blake Brogy? You know, we've designated three-point territory as Brogy land. It seems like, you know, he can do it from everywhere, but then you see him from outside the arc and it's like, okay, game over.
I love it every time he winds it up. You know, I feel like every time he shoots it, it's going to go in. He knows he has the green light, but, you know, I think one of the things with Blake's game is he can take it to the hole just as good as anyone else on our team.
And now it's eyes on the prize, all on the postseason. You guys are hosting your regional. Do you think that gives you a bit of an edge in games like this?
Oh, absolutely. Being at home is huge. Cedric, Coach Jones, our athletic director, asked, hey, would you mind, do you want us to host the regional? I'm like, are you kidding me? Of course. To get to, you know, stay at home, play in our gym, I think it's a huge advantage. And, you know, one game at a time, though. You can't get ahead of yourself. But it's looking forward to it.
How do you keep your guys in this mindset of just like, hey guys, you know, stay calm, stay in it, you know, one game at a time, especially when you're coming into tournament time like you are now?
Just understanding pressure and understanding, you know, the nervousness and you have to embrace the nervousness and the pressure and say, you know, you feel those things because you care. Not because you haven't worked hard. You know, it's just one play at a time, one game at a time, and leave it out there and don't look back.
If you have one group in the last, you know, 4 or 5 years that can do it, that can make it back to state, do you think this is your core group of guys?
Yeah, this is a group that, you know, when they were younger, we looked at it and said, okay, when these guys are seniors, we're going to be really, really good. You know, to make a run in state, you got to have the ball bounce your way. There's going to be some tight games. You know, there could be some simple injuries, so we can't have stupid little things happen to us. But yeah, this group, we feel like we can make a deep run.
And Scott, you and I have talked a lot about this. Lutheran may not have the size that some other teams have, but they definitely have the talent.
They do, and I think their real strength is in their coaching and in their kids buying into that coaching and the team concept. And hey, they just don't like to lose at Lutheran High School. Well, Nick 10 boys action wrapped up this week.
Up next, we'll take you back to the big game Wednesday night between Guilford and Auburn, and we'll see how the Nick 10 race finished up. It was a great battle in the Nick 10 this season for the boys. Guilford clinched the conference championship last Saturday, so congratulations to the Vikings.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming for Guilford, but even when there isn't a conference championship on the line, Rockford teams still love to get after each other with all they have, and that's what Guilford and Auburn did Wednesday night as they ended the regular season. It was senior night at the Castle for this one. Adrian Agee and his family being honored right there. What a career he's had. First quarter, Makai Doby chucks in a 3-ball for the Vikings. Agee was on his game. Look at the quick turnaround jumper, quick release right on the mark. Well, here come the Vikings, and here comes Cinco Gary for the slam. Guilford led by 7 early. Amir Danforth showing some great moves and a shooting touch. Auburn led 35-31 at halftime. Second half, Doby gonna stick another jump shot there. We go to the third quarter of a tight game. It's Danforth again, and what year is he? You know, he's only a freshman. He scored 15 points. Rock Cheney down low, working for this bucket. And now we move into the fourth quarter. It's Agee with a big 3. He scored 21 points. Agee's going to come right back with a 3-point play the hard way, the hoop and one. And then Danforth is going to bury another big shot from behind the arc, putting the Knights up by 4 with a minute to play. Auburn did defeat Guilford 59-53. So the final Nick 10 standings look like this. Guilford number 1 at 15-3. Auburn and East tied for second, just 1 game behind Guilford at 14-4. Boylan finished in 4th place at 13-5. Harlem rounds out the top 5 at 8-10. Hononegah finished hot, tied Freeport for 6th place at 7-11. Jefferson, Belvedere, and Belvedere North all wound up 4-14 to tie for 8th place.
Conference action wrapped up tonight with a makeup game at Rockford Christian. The Royal Lions hosted Stillman Valley. Owen Dunseth dribbles around the pick, fires in, gets the jump shot in for the Cardinals. RC's Kavion Cummings finds Christian Cummings on the back door, and he goes up and under and gets it to go. Cardinals now, Alex Ron takes it inside the paint, fakes, and the teardrop shot is in. Nice play there. Royal Lions ball now, Elijah Doherty. He dribbles once, shoots the 3, and it's good. Stillman Valley works the basketball around the 3-point arc until Cale Rallman delivers his arc and swishes it in. Doherty again for RC, kicks it out to Kenai Holmes, and he drains it. Rockford Christian beats Stillman Valley 87-56. So here's how the Big Northern Conference finishes. Lutheran is the champion at 9-0. Rockford Christian takes second at 8-1. Byron and Dixon tie for third at 6-3. Winnebago finishes fifth at 5-4. Stillman Valley and Rock Falls tied for sixth at 4-5. Then comes North Boone at 2-7. Genoa Kingston at 1-8, and Oregon at 0-9. Coming up next, it's our Spotlight segment.
We're going to introduce you to a man who has a whole lot of wins under his belt at Dakota, but his contributions are about much more than wins at the school. There are coaches who establish great relationships with their players and their communities. There are very few, though, who've done that at the level that Gary Henefeld has done it at Dakota. We introduce you to him tonight in our Spotlight segment.
We have to be certain that we stop penetration.
Gary Henefeld has been coaching since the early 70s. He was at Orangeville a few years. Then in the fall of 1975, he came to Dakota, and he's been there ever since.
He's a legend here.
Henefeld doesn't coach at the varsity level. He has spent all of his years coaching at the junior high and freshman sophomore levels.
My wife tells me all the time the reason I'm able to get along with kids is I've never really grown up myself, and maybe there's something to that. I don't.
Henefeld grew up just outside of Dakota. He graduated from the school in 1967. This is his senior picture. He was active in high school, playing on the basketball team. That's him, number 50. He was also active in vocational agriculture. Agriculture has been a huge part of his life. It's also one more reason why he has never moved up to coaching at the varsity level.
The opportunity was there a few times, but the situation just wasn't quite right with all I had going on in my life. I've farmed in one way or another since 1972. I drove school bus for 44 years, and I was athletic director for 15. And so it's taken a lot of good help from my family members to allow me to do this.
A few weeks ago, Henefeld won his 800th game. How impressive is that? Only 7 varsity boys basketball coaches in the entire history of Illinois have won that many games. How big is that to you when you think, wow, 800 wins?
I can tell you when I started back in '76 that thought never crossed my mind.
We've had a lot of great coaches, as you know, Brian Benning, Pete Albert, Jerry Lano. And just because he's a fresh soft coach all these years, he ranks right up there with the best of them.
If we're patient, we'll get what we want. Here we go.
As you can imagine, the game has changed a bit since Henefeld started coaching. He says the three-point shot is the biggest change, and he says coaching has gotten better.
I just told opposing coach the other day, Wins are harder today than they used to be. Coaching is better today than it used to be.
He's also noticed something else regarding people's expectations.
I think the societal changes are so much different. People are not nearly as tolerant today of others as they used to be, and the focus is so much narrower that they expect immediate gratification, and that very seldom happens.
There's been nothing instant about the career Henefeld has constructed. He's built it one day after another, year after year. So how many more years will he keep at it?
I think the good Lord will answer that for us.
We had a scrimmage with our 5th and 6th graders during halftime last night, and a couple of parents or grandparents actually said, "Gary, you got to stay till my kid gets through." But he kind of said that with a chuckle. So we don't know, but we're going to let it be on his terms. He's earned it, and we're very proud of him.
How ultimately do you want people from Dakota and elsewhere to remember you?
That's kind of a tough one. I guess just as a regular guy who had the opportunity to work with these young people, and hopefully I've made the young people better that I've worked with, and I've had some fun along the way.
You cannot replace people like that who devote so much time and energy to a community. How lucky Dakota's school district has been to have Henefeld for all these years. And
you know, I think he should shoot for 1,000 wins. That's only 200 more.
Yeah, that's 10 more years of 20-win seasons. That's doable, Gary, right, huh? We're going to be right back. Well, join us again next Friday night at the same time on Fox 39. Our overtime shows are also rebroadcast Saturday nights at 11 p.m. on Fox 39.
That will do it for us.
Enjoy your weekend.